What's up everyone, Kodo Lewis here, back with some more Sunhaven content for you. So in this one, we're going to be going over the farm animal profit breakdown basically. And it's going to be the kind of similar to the crop breakdown video. If you haven't checked that out, go ahead and check that out. It's basically, we're going to be talking about, I made a spreadsheet and everything, and I'm going to leave the spreadsheet in the description. I remembered to say it early on this time, that way you know. You can go check out that spreadsheet for yourself. All I ask is that, hit that subscribe button and that like button for that in exchange for that, because, it takes me a lot of time to make that, but if not, it's no big deal. But I appreciate all the love we can get for this channel. So really, we're just going to be, like I said, talking about how much money, basically, that we can make. Like I said, I have the chart drawn up, you'll see here in a second. First of all, I just wanted to say, I pretty much, the numbers I got were mostly, these skills I do have, so it's like they're a little bit different than if you don't have, like, say, like this skill right here. It's gonna be like a little 10% difference, so that's just something to keep in mind. Like, my numbers may be a little bit off on what my sale price stuff says compared to yours if you don't have like this skill maxed out. But I didn't take like this skill right here, I didn't take into account for, because you can get an extra chance for products. I did not count that. I was just using the default, like basically everything pretty much gives 1 on yield, so that's something to take into consideration, that the numbers that you're gonna get if you actually do the farming is gonna be way higher than what I have. Mine's more like, I would say, worst case scenario if you just so happen to never get this skill. But if you did have this, even though the 10% is not that big of a deal, it's not gonna make a big difference at all. And of course we have the skill to unlock the sheep and the pigs, of course. Food delivery, I kind of recommend to get this. It's 20 food every week, basically. Pretty good idea to have that, honestly. It just helps out with the food costs. Now, that's one thing I also wanted to say. Food costs, what I'm considering a food cost is 20 gold per day, and how I figured that up is that it costs 40 gold for 1 wheat seed. So basically, even though technically you usually get more than 1 wheat off a harvest on average, when we added up in our crop breakdown, I think we were getting like 1.12. I just want to say and say, let's say we're spending 40 gold for 1 wheat and only getting 1 out of it every time. And then 1 wheat we can turn into 2 animal food in the grinder, or whatever it's called. I don't know what the exact thing is called, but that's what it is. It's like a little flour mill looking thing. You can turn wheat into food. So basically 1 wheat costs 40, so we get 2 food out of it. That means 1 food is 20, so it's costing us $20 per day per animal. So that's just something to keep in mind as well. That's where I got that number from. But if you actually were to, like, get these other skills too, that would decrease. Like, there's a chance of you getting, like, spending only $5 on per food, based on like extra yield skills and just luck in general and other things like that. And if you bought like some discounted seeds, stuff like that is like really hard to factor in, but that's just something to keep in mind. This skill I highly recommend to get, especially if you'll definitely see what I'm talking about whenever it comes to how many animals you have. So basically this just gives you a little bit of money per each animal you have. So like, let's say we have 18 up here right now. If I'm actually, some animals take 2 slots and some take 1, let's just say that. And well, technically you can get the Snackoon and he takes 4, so, but I'm not really going to include him because you can only get 1 of him. So basically I just put him in the list for fun, just to know his stats, but I mean, basically not that good. I'm just going to go ahead and spoil that for you. But so let's say if we have, everything else takes 1 space or 2 space. So if we have, like, say like 19 or 18 chickens, for example, down, because they only take 1 space, we have this skill maxed out, we're gonna get 18 times 40, which I believe the math I did earlier was like 720 on that. Let's go ahead and pull the calculator up real quick and keep this up top. Okay, so 18 times 40. So we're going to automatically get a 720 gold bonus per day just for having 18 animals down if we do that. Now if we only have 9, which is pretty much how much the other ones are, you're going to get still a decent 360 gold bonus per day. Still pretty good, but not quite as good as having 18 animals down. and we're gonna see, you know, how that'll affect the profits a little bit. I didn't really factor that in, but I'm just letting you know now that that is also something you should take into consideration. Get if you get this skill, which I highly recommend getting this skill, zookeeper right there. Shouldn't really need that calculator for the rest of the video. Friend of the forest, this is how you get the snackoon. Just gonna go ahead and say that for you. If anybody doesn't know, get this. I'm pretty sure you can get it on the first skill, the first letter that you get, but I could be wrong. You might have to get all three. I don't remember. I maxed it out immediately and got all three letters in the mail that same day, so that's just something I wanted to say. That doesn't have anything to do with farming. And this one, of course, get the full house skill. You need to max this out no matter what. This is one, if you want to make good money, you're going to have to do this, because if not, you're barely going to be able to have any animals on your farm. So that's something you definitely need to work on getting maxed out. And then, of course, this skill too. Now, this skill I think may be broken right now, or bugged, or whatever you want to call it. I've had a couple animals that get full hearts, and they never went to golden hearts, so not sure what's up with that. I've tried to get some golden products for you to show that off too, but like I said, we're still going to get some pretty good profits even without that taken into consideration. So this is all just kind of like bonus stuff, I would say, you know, in a lot of ways. So, but that's pretty much, you know, the gist of the skills and stuff like that. Let's go ahead and get into the actual chart, the actual breakdown too. Before we do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button, especially if it's your first time on this channel. Pretty much the best farming RPG channel there is right now. You know, I make tons of videos on Sunhaven. This is the go-to game right now, but I'm definitely real soon we're gonna be having some other games in the mix, so don't worry guys, that's coming for sure. We're not gonna only make Sunhaven videos here, although that is all I've made really so far, but it's coming. The new, you know, we're gonna put some, I'm about to get some different games and mess around with some other games, so make sure you throw those suggestions out. But yeah, make sure you like the video if you enjoy this anytime. Like I said, the breakdown stuff is gonna be down below, the spreadsheet or whatever, it'll be available for you to download or whatever. And that's pretty much all we have for, oh yeah, also check out the blog coderlewis.com. I make a blog, you know, post for most of the videos on this channel as well, and this will definitely be on there. It just takes me a minute to get it. Expect, you know, possibly up to a week delay, I would say, between videos like this one. You know, this one's gonna be a little bit more stuff to write down in a post, so just bear with me on that. But you know, I appreciate the support on that too. So for people that prefer just text guides and stuff like that, you know, that's something you can check out if you don't really care for the videos. But anyways, let's get into this. Enough of that stuff. Okay, so pull this up real quick and start talking about these numbers. So hold up real quick, I just want to make sure my head is not in the way of this. I shouldn't be. Okay, yeah, it's not in the way. Cool. Okay, so like I was saying, basically we have, let's just go row by row or column by column, whatever, and explain what each one of these is, and then we'll talk about each thing a little bit, and I'll tell you, you know, what obviously is the best. Let's go ahead and just start with here then. Okay, so in this first column we have the animals, obviously pretty self-explanatory. These are all the animals you can get to on your farm. And then product, this is what they're going to be producing for you. Capacity, this is how many slots they take up on your farm. So like chicken takes 1 slot out of, and you get 18 slots when you have the maxed out skill. So therefore, when we come over here to max capacity, you can see I can have 18 chickens. So I can have 18 chickens on the farm. For cows, I can only have 9 cows and 9 pigs, 9 sheep, and so forth. Most stuff is, you know, pretty much as you see it, either 2 slots or 1 slot, except for down here at the Snackoon. Like I said though, he's kind of, I just put him on the list just because, so, you know, but I mean, he's basically pretty weak. All he's going to do is give you a little bit of berries per day. I'm pretty sure you can only get 1 Snackoon right now, and that's just from that skill. And he's not going to net you very much money. It's kind of just to get berries so you have a way to go back and forth between Nelvari without ever having to go like berry hunting. But it's kind of cool, but he also takes 4 slots. It's kind of a lot of slots in my opinion. You lose out on some good money by having him. So anyways, moving on. Yield, this is basically how much you're going to get. So like, say for example with the chicken, he's giving us eggs. and he's gonna give us 1 egg, so we're getting 1 egg per chicken. Whereas like baby stump, we're getting 5 logs per baby stump. That's basically what the yield is saying. And then the max capacity is just like saying if we had the max amount of chickens possible. So if we had 18 chickens, we're gonna be getting 18 eggs. And then, you know, same thing with everything else. But you see, with like the baby stump, we can get up to 90 logs because they're given a little, you know, we're 18 of them, and then we're getting 5 logs off of each one. That's what this is basically saying. Now moving on to the product profit. This is basically just like the sell price of 1 egg, essentially. Like, so if we're talking about the chicken, so you can see for 1 animal, this is how much you can expect to make per animal, basically. And then the max capacity, this is so if you have all 18 chickens on your farm, this is how much you can expect to get when you go to sell it. Now that's not your, you know, technically I guess it's not profit, but you know that this right here is actually going to be your profit on max gold per day, because that's basically just this number right here in the max capacity profit subtracted from the feed cost per day. And like I said, the feed cost per day I added up was $20 or coins, whatever. 20 gold is what I'm assuming is 1 food. So basically if it takes 18, you just do 18 times 20, 360, and then 9 times 20 for 180 for these. So they're a little bit cheaper to feed the bigger animals because you're feeding way less of them. So that's something, you know, that I also have wrote down here. But I mean, that really doesn't make a whole lot of a big difference, I'm not gonna lie. I just put that in there so nobody could say that it, you know, nobody could whine about it. Not that I think anyone would, I'm just saying. But so yeah, we have the max gold per day here. That's going to be basically, like I said, that subtracted, but this subtracted from this gives you how much profit, like your actual profit per day. Oh, and then over here we have the animal cost. This is how much it actually costs to buy the animal from the shop. And then we have startup cost, which is essentially just the how many, you know, the max amount, you know, so like if we wanted to buy 18 chickens and max our farm out on chickens, it's going to cost 21,600 coins, you know. But something I also forgot to say, you know, I didn't really forget to put in here. I just kind of ran out of room, and I just figured I'd tell you guys. One thing I would, you have to take into consideration as well with the startup cost, you also have to buy the feeding stations for the animals. You have to have 1 feeding station per animal. So if you want to have 18 chickens in your farm, you need to have 18 feeding stations. Let me just go ahead and go show you how mine's set up a little real quick. That way you 100% no confusion going on here. Even if you're using automatic feeders, it doesn't matter. You have to have 1 feeding station per chicken. So if you can count these here, I've got 8 along these bottom rows on each side, and then 1 up here, so that's 9 on each side. That's 18, so 1 for each thing. So that's just, you know, to let everybody know that is in these cost about 500 a piece at the let's see, what's it called, at the town hall barn store, whatever you want to call it. That's something to consider too. So there's going to be like an extra 9,000 gold on top of that initial startup cost if you're going to buy 18 of these. So that's something I just wanted to say, put out there for you to understand that that's going to be part of the startup cost as well. If that, you know, that's just part of it. Nothing you can really do about that. That's how it is. But let's go ahead and talk about these numbers a little bit more. So first of all, let's start out with just going through like max gold per day, and then talk about which one I think is kind of the best. So as you can see, you know, right off the bat, you're probably going to think, well, sheep are automatically going to be the best, so I'm getting the max gold per day. And I mean, in a way, that's kind of right, but also it's kind of wrong, because they do have a higher startup cost. If you think like 36,000 plus, you're going to imagine like about $4,000 worth for the feeding trough. So it's going to be a $40,000 startup cost. So it is going to be pretty pricey to get those started out. But not only that, but you also have to consider 2 things when it comes to how much money you're actually making. Like I said, I didn't take the time to like calculate it up, but I mean, it's pretty easily calculatable. That's why I didn't bother with it. But it, like, say for like the bonus skill, that's gonna give us like 40 gold per day. Let's go ahead. No, I already added it up earlier. That was like 720 and 360. So yeah. So let's say if we're gonna add 720 to the chickens per day, it's going to put us at 2736 here, technically, if we have that skill. And it's going to be the same, you know, for the sheep though, since we only have less sheep, we're going to have 9 sheep. That's only going to be 360. That's only going to put you about 26 something. So it will be a little bit less. Not only that though, one big thing to consider that a lot of people probably won't consider is having all these chickens. If you can see right now, I have 18 chickens, and there's a reason for that, because I personally think the chickens, there's not really a personal, but like, it's a fact, chickens will make you the most money as of right now. That's what I'm gonna say. Chickens are the go-to farm animal. Yeah, at first I thought it was sheep too, and I was doing sheep for a minute. Now if you can, you know, I'm not gonna say you can't make good money off of sheep, because if you look in here, I was getting about, I had 9 sheep a day, and like I said, depending on if you have that one skill, where it's a 24% chance of getting an extra product off an animal. Sometimes I was getting like 15 wool a day, so I was getting a little over 3,000 a day just on that. But another thing with these chickens, it's the same thing. Even though I have 18 chickens, with that 24%, the first day I had these set out, I got 21 eggs, and the second day I got 27. You look at that, 3,564. That's in one day right there, and that's, you know, there's the possibility of getting like 30 plus eggs in one day. You could technically, if every single chicken just so happened to give you lucky, and it's not even, I mean, I'd say it's pretty lucky, but 24% chance is, you know, pretty high percent chance. And it may also have to do with their, you know, their love level too. I think the higher their love level, there's also a chance of getting an extra product out of that too. Right now, all my chickens are pretty fresh. I just went out and bought them and been experimenting with them. So once these all get maxed out, not only that, but also you have to take into consideration of getting that percent chance. That technically would be a 16% chance on top of that of getting a gold product. So that's going to be some massive profits off of these chickens. It's potential to get up to probably like 5,000-6,000 even a day off of just these chickens profit, like after feed costs and everything. Like, that's pretty solid profits right there. You cannot argue that, honestly. That's pretty amazing profits for this, and you don't have to do anything. Like, once you set this up, it's just automatic. You just come in here every day and pick up your thing. The only thing you're gonna have to do is start a little wheat farm and then keep these stocked. When you're feeding 18 chickens a day, it will drain these down pretty fast. This one's getting a little low right now. You can see you only got about 70 food left in it, so it'll drain them pretty fast. So, but that was one thing I really wanted to stress out, is that even though you see on this chart that technically the wool is making us the most money per day, that's just at a base level. That's with no skills whatsoever. That is not taking in consideration the skills. Once you take into consideration the skills of getting extra products, it's massively changes. And not only that, but the skill for getting, you know, just a passive bonus of having 40 gold per chicken per day. Like I said, the extra $700 a day on that. So like, let's say like yesterday or today I got 27 eggs, so I had automatically 3,500 plus that 720, so that was automatically 4,280 profit right there for the day. So that's pretty dang solid. Pretty dang solid. So yeah, you can't really argue that. I think there was something else I was wanting to say about that. I'm just trying to think. Got a lot to go through here with all of these numbers and stuff, but pretty, you know, most of these are self-explanatory. I'm not just gonna read through all these for you, but you know, the main ones I would say is, like I said, sheep and chicken. You could argue that sheep could be equally as good. It really comes down to luck, but not really, honestly. I think I think chicken are just gonna outdo them all day, every day, because the numbers advantage that you get off of chickens. Honestly, I could see it getting to the point where they, you know, nerf chickens and bring them down. Either they're going to nerf the sell price of eggs or something like that, or you're just going to only be able to put 9 chickens down or something like that, because right now, I'm just telling you, it's pretty dang good money. Like I was saying, there's potential to get, like, depending on how much those gold products are worth. I don't know how much those gold products are worth, but if you think about it, let's say if, like, for example, we're almost guaranteed, like, if we have, let's just say 25%, I know it's 24%, but let's say it's 25% chance, and there's 18 chickens. Now you have to think about that. So what's a quarter of 18? I can't think of it off the top of my head because I suck at math, but let's go ahead and do 18 divided by 4, 4.5. So we're automatically going to get 4.5 plus 18. Basically guaranteed to get on average 22.5 eggs per day. And the reason, you know, you can say that is because each chicken has a basically, like I said, 25% chance. It's technically 24, but we're just saying 25 for the sake of easy math. Each chicken has that percent chance to give you these eggs. So, you know, like I said, 21 here, 27 here. Some days you're only going to get maybe, it'd be almost impossible for you to only get 18. You know, I'm going to expect at least 20 guaranteed, I'd say, just based on the math. I mean, it's like a 1 in a million chance, I'm sure, of you getting just 18 eggs or whatever. So pretty good stuff, though. I'd say get these chickens, guys. You would definitely, you know, let me know what you guys think about this, but I think the chickens are going to be where it's at. It's going to be a high startup cost, though, too, even with the chickens, because you have to consider, like I said, it's going to be $9,000 just in feed stations. So it's going to be about a $32,000 startup. But like I said, if you can make 5K per day, 30,000 divided by 5, that's, I already know, that's 6 basically. So 30,000 divided by 5,000, it'll be 6. So 6 days and you can start making profit again and off of that. So that's insane. That's really good. That's way better than like if you checked out our like the honey, the beehive, whatever, honey box. The profit margins on that, it was like we were gonna spend like 15, no, it was gonna be like 30 days before we started seeing profit off of that. And that's if we sold all the honey all the time. It was gonna take like 30 days before we started gaining profit. But yet on this, we can start gaining profit in 6 days, basically 1 week. Within the first week, you can get $5,000 of this exact setup right here. But now, of course, if you do get these automatic collectors, it's gonna cost you a little bit more. The automatic collector, I think, is like 1,000 or something like that, or maybe one of them is like 1,000, one of them is like 3 or 4, maybe 5,000 or something. It's worth it though, guys. I'm telling you. So like, even if it costs 50,000, if we're getting like an average of 5K a day profit off of this, it takes 10 days to start making money. I mean, you're gonna start making 5K a day after that. Easy money to do, like basically zero work. Come in here and check your feeders, you know, every once a week, 2 weeks, whatever. So like I, you know, trying to say, just get those chickens, try them out, let me know what you guys think. You guys can try and experiment with these other things, but I just think you're not going to make a lot of money. If we look at this list, the only thing that even touches the chickens is the sheep. Cows are kind of meh, I guess, 1,500, but everything else is not even worth looking at all whatsoever. Like, the only reason you would want to use pigs or like silk moths, whatever, is just for the resources. Silk moths would be kind of dumb in my opinion. You can just go kill enemies and get silk all day long in the Withergate like forest or whatever. I'm pretty sure one of those enemies drops silk. I'm pretty sure that's where it is that you can get silk, so that'd be pretty dumb. Earth crystals, though, a little bit harder to farm. You kind of only have to like walk around and pick them up, so I could understand that kind of. But really, the only way I could see you really making good money off of the earth crystals is if you're growing like a lot of like shimmer root or trying to grow grapes, like keep up with them. There's no way you could do it with grapes, so it wouldn't be enough earth crystals, I guarantee it. But if you were doing shimmer root farms and stuff like that, and you wanted to have maximum fertilizer on them at all times, because I'm pretty sure for like the extra yield fertilizer, you have to use earth crystals to make that. So that does have some balance to it. It makes sense. They just don't sell for anything, but you would never sell earth crystals. You would turn them into fertilizer. So the pigs have potential to be good as well. If you kept like a few pigs on hand just on the side to give you that extra fertilizer. So that's something to, like I said, take into consideration. But everything else, like I was saying, is pretty much trash. Like I said, the snack coon, basically useless. He's gonna make you like $100 a day, $155 a day. It's pretty much useless. This one's actually pretty good though. If you're looking for a passive mana orb farm, get a bunch of baby griffins. If you have maxed out baby griffins, now it is going to cost you 900 orbs to invest in that, but Well, let's think of the. Let me do the math on that too, real quick, because I'm pretty curious on that. So let's say it costs 900, but yet we're making 63 orbs a day. Of course, then that's like I was saying, guys. That's only if we're getting 1 feather a day. That's that profit if we're taking that in consideration. There was times when I had those down. I was getting like 2 and 3 feathers, or yeah. I was getting 2 feathers consistently, like on 3 or 4 of the people. Even though you only get 9, it's still pretty consistent. You get multiples, so it's. Like if it's at a 1/4% chance, basically you would have almost guaranteed to get 2 extras, which would be 9. But like I was saying, let's do this math. So 14. Will only take 14 days to start making money off of that, and that'd be good passive mana orb farm. So that's something I could see definitely working pretty good as well, if you're interested in like a mana orb type farm, because those sell for orbs. So I was saying that's real good stuff there. Not sure why these ones don't. The silk should sell for orbs personally. I think it would make a lot more sense. I mean, logs don't. The logs are useless too. Like, look at this. Don't put baby stumps on your phone. You're literally gonna lose 90 gold per day, and then you're gonna have to spend 720 mana orbs to even get those logs. If for what, like, to lose 90 gold a day? Doesn't make sense. And just for like, how much do you get? What, like, you're gonna get 90 logs a day off of that. That's nothing. 90 logs is nothing. Don't use the baby stump. Baby stump is trash, I guess. Like baby stump, snackoon. Like, maybe use snackoon at first just to like get a stack of berries, but then not use them ever again. That's pretty much what I did. I put them down, and once he gave me like 50 or 100 berries after, which doesn't take long at all. He gives like 5 a day, so then you can pretty much put him up and have just many trips as you want to Nelvari, because it takes berries to give it to Griffin to go there. But other than that, really, that's, like I was saying, highly recommend going with chickens. That's gonna be my go-to, my main advice for you all if you really want to make good high passive income. Let's go ahead and go to bed real quick and just see like how many we get on this next day, just so I can show you, like, hopefully we'll get like 30 right here. That'd be a sweet way to end the video, because it's pretty much the end of this video. So if you haven't already and you're still watching, like, subscribe and like the video. Like, come on, this has been a long video. I've probably been jabbering on for like 10-20 minutes now, and you're still listening. Go ahead and subscribe and like the video. You know this is your jam. So look at that. These are these numbers. This was 3 days of having all these chickens right here. Let's add these profits up. 3 days, 6,600 right there. So about 9,600 right there, and $9,600 in 3 days, not including the $700 per day that I'm getting off the passive bonus just for having the chickens alone. So that would also be like another 2,160 plus the 96, so that'd be like 11,700 in 3 days off of that profit. Yeah, that's pretty dang good, guys. Like, seriously, that's really, really good. These chickens are freaking legendary now that they have all these little skills to buff them up, and it's because you can have so many of them. Honestly, that's the real key. So, like I said, chickens for the win. If we can get all these to gold hearts, I can only imagine how much we've been making. Then I might make a video on that. Or if somebody knows, if you have golden hearts, let me know in the comments. I want to know if it's broken or what. If I'm just haven't got to that point yet, which obviously right now all my chickens are just trash noobs. They have no hearts, they have no love given to them. But once I get up to about day 200, I could see them. I should have gold hearts for sure. There's no way. Shouldn't take that long. But anyways, let me know what you think about this video, and if you think there's a better way to make money off these animals. But I'm pretty sure chickens is the way to go. Like I was saying, there's some pretty solid hard evidence right here that you just saw of me get the big fat stack of eggs. Just massive money, just massive. But anyways, like I said, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We're trying to get to those 250 subs. That's the goal, guys. 250 subs. We're doing good. We're pushing up there. I've been cranking out the videos. You guys have been helping me out by giving me ideas for videos. So keep that up too. Keep the suggestions up. Suggestions on any videos, always leave them in the comments. I'm always looking at those comments. I'll try to reply to every comment I ever see, and then I try to, if it's a video suggestion, it goes to the top of the list immediately. Somebody was recommending this, so it went straight to the top of the list. I think Jade recommended it, and then somebody else had recommended it, earlier, or said they couldn't wait to see it or something like that. So, shout out to those guys. The more you talk about it, the faster I'm gonna do the video, and the more likely it is, the better the video is gonna be. I'm gonna put more work into it because I know you guys really want to see that, so I don't mind putting that extra time in, doing the extra math, getting the spreadsheet, and then like I said, the spreadsheet's going to be in the description too, so check that out, guys. Check out the blog, codalewis.com. That'll definitely be up there. Make sure you click the like button to get this video up there and to help us out on that. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one.